Y'all see him in the street struggling, young, dumb, and thugging, give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
And for this episode, sure, we got the Demogorgon on full display. Just copped it today, but what's up, guys? Street Justice here. Welcome back to my channel. We're back for the reaction to Stranger Things. This is Season 4, Chapter 5, The Nina Project. I'm not sure if that's actually already been mentioned up until this point this season, but I'm pretty sure, or I'm going to assume, it has to do with Elle getting her powers back, which is actually going to be great to see because 4 whole episodes without her powers, she could have used them many times, although if she did still have her powers, Angela would have been toast by now, so it's probably a good thing that she hasn't had them up until this point. But that last episode, guys, I'm still blown away by it. I honestly thought Max was a goner. The emotions were flowing. I was on the edge of my seat. Tears were flowing. My lips were quivering. I was shaking. Man, it took a lot out of me. That was such a great moment. That was probably one of the best moments in this entire series so far. Never mind just this season, because obviously this season that was one of the best moments, but in this entire series so far, honestly, I freaking loved it, guys. It took a lot out of me though, like the emotions. Whew, I'm just glad that she is still with us. The music saved the day. Love conquers all. That was freaking great to see. But I did bring this up in the last reaction at the end of the episode that although it saved her for now, I feel like Vecna is going to find a way to patch that up to make sure that that does not happen again, to make sure if he does get a hold of Max, she's not able to escape that easily. So that kind of sucks, because the other reason why I think that is she did write those letters. They're still out there. So even though she survived for now, I wouldn't be surprised if they still take her out before the end of the season, but I don't want to see it regardless. I'm just ready to jump right in and check out this episode. If you guys are looking for my full reactions to the show, the link to my Patreon is down in the description below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash the like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go. Hopefully this episode is not as emotional as the last one. I don't got any more tears in me.
Girl. Danger.
Okay, how do we find Owen?
Number.
555.
Break the number! Hey! Look at me! Hey! Come on! Come on!
We got a name, that's it. And they're being tailed.
Around, get off the road! Now! Shit, he's dead, isn't he?
I have a little doses of this guy, this commander-in-chief. I still really have a good reading on him, though.
Listen, I know she was just here. And if you want to live, you're going to tell me where she is.
Okay, I have a better reading on him now. He's not good. Expected the music to start.
Did you get some rest?
A little.
Good. I have a feeling you're going to need it. Okay, here we go. You didn't really think we were working out of a shed, did you?
Let's see this place.
Call her Nina.
What is it?
If we told you, it would have ruined the surprise.
Ow! He's here.
Hello, Eleven.
Papa!
Let us work together again. You and I. Doc. And Papa.
The memories. Bad men. There's no escaping this. Without her powers.
Leave her. You're home now. You're home.
I don't like her with him there. Let's see how this plays out, though. I'm not going to jump to conclusions.
What I tell you, American, no run. Now is going to be much pain.
He's been through enough already. We're going to introduce him to our friend here, the Demogorgon. We know they have one on site.
It could be worse, American. At least you have company.
Jägermeister.
Your eyes don't deceive you. I'm a prisoner now, like you.
He was one of the guards?
Doesn't release me.
It wasn't him. He got screwed over too.
I have lost everything, everything. We both knew the risks. We lost. Joyce. Oh my God, Joyce.
They lost too. Alright, we're getting some more Eddie finally.
Hey, Dustin, this is Eddie, the banished. You there?
Dustin.
Hey, it's Nancy.
Wheeler, hey.
Cold beer with really calm, gentle nerve.
Hey, I'm gonna have to call you back.
No, don't you dare. Wheeler.
Was that Max? She gone?
I swear I just dozed off for
5 hours.
an hour.
Morning, guys.
We're all here.
Okay.
We're all accounted for.
So sweet that you guys are sticking together like this.
Could try sticking together at a different house for a change.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, why not? Take us for all we're worth.
Oh.
Okay.
You okay? Just couldn't sleep.
Can't believe she survived
Kept
that.
blasting music in my ears for some reason. Is that? It was like they were on display.
Those are
or
pretty good
something.
drawings.
And then there was this red fog everywhere.
Maybe you infiltrated his mind. He invaded your mind, right? Is it that big of a leap to suggest you somehow wound up in his?
Is this a window? Yeah. Stained glass with roses.
The house. It was all broken up before. When she was there, it was all floating around.
Not just any house.
Damn.
Victor Creel's house.
Where are you going?
The
Where he
connections. I love it. Wait, is this new? Did she shave her head again? Bald is beautiful. I'm telling you. Looking like me at the end of the last reaction. The last episode.
Look who finally decided to join us. Someone's a sleepyhead this morning.
Elaine Hawkins.
Who's this creepy purge fuck?
Oh wow. Look who finally decided to join us. Someone's a sleepyhead this morning.
Those guys, uber creepy.
Don't go too far, sleepyhead. Lessons begin promptly at 10.
We shouldn't have just thrown her in there like this.
This is all part of the Nina project?
No. She is going to swim.
Oh man, okay, this is so messed up, man. This is so messed up.
They're burying him.
I think we can figure this out, okay? We just gotta open our minds. Open our minds? I said open right in front of me, man.
What's going on?
Dude,
This is his first run-in with this type of stuff.
okay?
This is season 4 for us.
Go to the van and do your thing. Dead dude. I'm making him a headstone.
And you do realize we spent all morning hiding the body.
Well, I'll just write, here lies unknown hero agent man.
Okay, dude. Do your thing.
Best addition to the show.
Come on, man.
That's the pen he gave me right before he died. Why would he give me a pen that didn't work?
Alright. Hey, man, I'm using that. What are you doing?
The number.
It's the number.
It's not a 555 number either.
What about your woman, hmm? She's captured, yes, but still alive. We can still save her. Save her? It is amusing to you.
You don't get it, dude. You don't get it. The closer I get with Joyce, the more danger she's in.
You're not thinking straight, American.
No, I think I am. You know, for the first time in my life, I think I'm thinking straight.
Hop is down. Down bad.
I used to think I was cursed. I hid myself in drugs and alcohol.
He turned it around, though.
And then people started coming into my life. This girl, Elle, and Joyce just happened, and I told myself they needed me. But that wasn't true. I needed them. I needed them. The minute I sent for Joyce, the minute I sent for her, I sentenced her to death. It's like I did with Sarah.
You come back from this, make things right.
Everyone I love, I hurt.
Come on,
See, I
Hop.
was wrong this whole time. I wasn't cursed. I am the curse.
I don't know if what you say is true, American. You're truly a cursed man, but you're right about one thing. We are going to die in here.
Oh yeah, he got infected too. We saw him very brief. It was just one scene. It was mainly focused on Max, but it went in his head.
Lord, I've prayed.
Photos for the 86 yearbook.
God damn. Sinclair? Goddamn traitor. They already know we're after them. What if they cursed us or some shit?
I don't believe in that supernatural crap, alright? But this cult is dangerous. We have to be smart about this. Made a list. Everywhere these freaks have been seen.
You should add Reefer Rick's house to this.
What?
Reefer Rick. He's Eddie's supplier. He's
Fuck.
supposed to be in prison, but someone spotted him back in his house.
No stones unturned.
They're gonna find him. This is at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, that's not creepy.
Super creepy.
Found a key.
That works. Okay, now you're gonna piss him off. You're breaking into Vecna's place. Oh, yeah, this place is haunted. Never mind the upside down. The right side up.
Looks like someone forgot to pay their electric bill.
Can't prepare.
Do you need to be told everything? You're not a child.
Hey, guys. You all see that, right?
I mean, it's just a clock,
No.
right?
It's not just a clock. There's definitely more to it.
Maybe he's like a clockmaker or something?
Think you cracked the case, Steve?
All I know is
Watch him be right.
the answer's right here. Okay, everyone stay in groups of 2. And Robin,
He haunts you like clockwork.
come on, let's go.
It's better than Steve's, I think.
You gonna sigh?
No, I did not sigh.
That was definitely a sigh.
Why'd you sigh?
I didn't sigh. Just come on, dude.
We cut our binds, we break free.
Yes, okay, then what?
Then you take him out.
Take him out.
You know karate. You said you were a black belt. Is black not the highest color?
Yes, it's just what?
Time to prove yourself.
With the other students.
How old?
It doesn't go younger than 13.
13?
Jeremiah is 16.
Did you beat him?
Jeremiah is a ferocious fighter, lightning fast.
She's a crying.
And I beat him. That one time. I can defeat Yuri. Absolutely.
Super close-ups.
Look who finally decided to join us.
Oh, aren't you a little sleepyhead?
Someone's a sleepyhead this morning.
I'm already sick of this guy.
Wow, wow.
Ah!
Look who finally decided to join us.
I'm gonna snap.
Someone's a sleepyhead this morning.
Flashes.
You're going to do great today. I just know it.
How's she doing? Very well. She's swimming now. Good. Because I just got off the phone with Stinson. We don't have much time. Well, then she'll just have to swim faster.
202-564-9087.
I love how there's just a payphone in the middle of nowhere.
Is it ringing? No, it's just making a bunch of weird noises. Does that remind you of anything?
War games.
We're not calling a phone.
What is it?
We're calling a computer.
I just need a hacker. The only hacker that I know lives in Utah.
Utah?
Salt Lake City.
Susie!
Susie saved the world last year. And maybe she can save it again.
All comes down to Susie. Oh. Wait, did they dress up like this to go on their pursuit?
Hey, Dustin. You there? It's Eddie. You remember me, right?
Where's everyone?
Anybody?
Could you maybe, clarify what sort of clues we're supposed to be looking for here?
The world is full of obvious things, which nobody by any chance ever observes. Sherlock Holmes.
I was gonna say, what the fuck was that? Spiders. We've been seeing a lot of spiders. Ah! Ah!
Don't go in there.
Wait, just very.
Oh, these two gonna have a moment?
Maybe after we find Vecna, kill him, save the world and stuff, maybe we can all go out or something.
I like Steve more than Jonathan, so I wouldn't be upset if they got back together, but at the same time, I don't think she would do that to Jonathan.
We're just friends.
Definitely had a moment.
Things are not what people
Well, absurd. Or don't absurd. Or...
Yeah, he's tripping over his words.
Sherlock Holmes.
He's like me in my recaps. Just can't get the words out, you know? You have a lot to say. Just don't know how to say them.
What? I wish we had a longer loop.
46 minutes isn't bad.
Oh, she just has to keep on playing it over and over.
Will it still work, or will Kate Bush, like, lose her magic power or something?
Kate Bush? Never.
You're a Kate Bush fan?
She saved your life. Besides, we're hot on this creep's trail.
I think we're all Kate Bush fans after that last episode.
I'm messing with you again.
I thought you were, like, one of the cool kids now.
I'm not cool? I've really missed that.
Missed what?
This.
Her laugh.
I promise I'm gonna stop asking this, but you're seeing that, right?
Okay, shit's starting to pop off now. This is interesting.
What is happening?
She's going into rest.
Okay, that's enough. Pull her out.
Yeah, this is like shock treatment. No!
Naughty bird. Be a good girl now and get back to a place.
Kill Yuri.
Will you just shoot me?
You are fragile cargo. You can still break. Not if I break you first.
It's not very intimidating. Ah! This first hand-to-hand combat encounter. Go, Joyce. Oh.
My fingers are like arrows. My arms like iron.
Yo, he's killing it. Knocked him out.
I said don't knock him out!
You're gonna crash. Let go. It was a high budget crash.
Dustin, please. You there? Never mind.
I'm surprised he didn't take off while they were inside the house. Like he had his opportunity. Keep on building it up. We know what's coming for this kid.
Holy shit. Hey, freak! Where do you think you're going?
Flashlights.
It's going off right there.
Okay, what's happening?
You found him, now what? What's he doing upside down? In the upside down. Yo. So cool. So insane. In the water too. It's the worst place for it to happen.
Hey, stay back, Dad! Stay back!
Is he gonna float above the water?
Hey, come on, let's go! We almost have him! Hey, Patrick!
Yo, I'm getting goosebumps. Pulled under. Again. Oh! Yo, he's gonna get the worst. And he's drowned afterwards. Oh! I don't think there's any escape unless she's got her powers back. Yes! She's back. Or they're back.
Remarkable.
Fuck you, Papa.
I said stay away!
She might have just drained herself. It's all the juice she had for now.
Be that easy. Did you?
They're not back all the way, but it's a start.
Daughter.
The symphony over top of it all. He doesn't even care about his men, the soldiers. Collateral damage. Not too bad, not too shabby. So we still got 2 episodes left of part A. And then we play the waiting game. I don't know how, or I'm probably gonna finish them next week. I was gonna say, I don't know how long I'm gonna have to wait. So I'll probably still have to wait a few weeks before part 2 or part B finally arrives. And then we close out the season, really finish things off. You know there's gonna be a cliffhanger too at the end of part A, so can't wait to find out what exactly it is. But all right, guys, that was Stranger Things, season 4, chapter 5, the Nina Project. That was a really good episode. I actually really liked that. My only complaint, and we got a bit of it at the very end, is I want more Vecna. I'm a Vecna fan. Hail Vecna. Like, I don't know, some of the stuff, like, I get it. The powers, finding herself, this new character that they introduced, I'm pretty sure he's new, the helper, the assistant, but at the same time, he seemed pretty, I don't know, sketchy himself. He seemed to have some powers, or the loop that kept on playing where he's like, oh, sleepyhead, oh, look who slept in today. That was killing me, so I'm sure we're going to see him again. That's just our first introduction to him. I still don't know exactly who he is. At first, I thought he was one of the kids, but he seems to be working on the staff and was part of the program, so I don't know entirely. I'm not entirely sure who the fuck he is, but I'm sure we will find out. That was just a small dose of him, but yeah, when it comes to the show, I'm more a fan of the horror side of things. I know there's a lot of sci-fi involved, also action, comedy. Like they do a great job at combining all these things, but my favorite stuff is the horror. So that's why every single time these episodes, when they don't focus fully on the horror, I don't know if it should really be a complaint, but I'd like to suggest a little bit more. So the fact that we didn't get too much Vecna, but we did get a little bit of Vecna at the very end. Like, there's small doses throughout, I guess. Like, you hear the clock ticking when I was following that one kid. I forget his name, the one that got taken, but he might have got the worst. In the water, too, then dumped in the water afterwards. They're just going to think it was a drowning. Crazy. Vecna is choosing, like, the best times. He's taking the best opportunities to actually possess these kids and take them out, because everything looks so bad, except for, or actually no, including Chrissy. I was going to say, except for Chrissy, where it was just in a trailer, but because Eddie was there, it actually looked like she was murdered. And then Fred looked like, I don't know, I guess you could have blamed getting hit by a car or run over or something, like basically roadkill at that point. Even though it's kind of, I don't know, doesn't fully explain all the bone breakings and everything, but it may explain some, at least upon first viewing. And then this one, drowning, it doesn't fully explain how he gets all crooked and crack, snap, crackle, popping, but either way, his body's in the water, so he's giving explanation, kind of like Freddy does in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, which is something I really appreciate. That's why I want to see more of it, because every single time that we see Vecna on screen, my jaw just drops. Like, my jaw is just like these kids, like, that gets ripped apart and torn in half, because I don't know, it's just blowing me away. They're handling Vecna so freaking well. Obviously, there's the major similarities, emphasis, credit goes out to Freddy Krueger, but at the same time, it just works, and I'm freaking loving it. It is so freaking good. I will never get sick of these possessions. Hopefully there's more. Hopefully we haven't seen the last of it, as bad as that sounds, because as long as it doesn't happen to one of our main kids, not Max, but yeah, as long as it happens to these other kids that I don't really care about, these side characters, I say bring it on. But man, there was a lot that went down this episode. That was probably my only real complaint. I don't want to say that they spent too much time on the power stuff, because I actually thought they did a great job of kind of switching between all the different characters, the different groups that we have going on, following different sets of characters. For the most part, I feel like they've been handling that pretty well. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the power stuff that Elle is kind of working through right now, I do know it's important to get her powers back. We saw a bit of it at the very end, her first dose of superpowers this entire season. That was great to see. It's been 5 episodes without them now, so yeah, it's nice to see our girl start to get her powers back. Let's just say, obviously she has more work to do, but this episode was a pretty good start. But when I was talking about different groups that we were actually following, we had El and Papa, the return of Papa. It was inevitable. We knew he was coming back. Obviously, they're not just going to bring him back for the one episode. And even though he was killed off in the first season, off screen, I don't know how he survived that either. Hopefully they actually show that. But we did see the fake version of him, or the vision of him from, what was her number? I think it was 8. But we didn't see her there. 8. Maybe they must have got her there after. Because I'm trying to think, like, we saw the kids get taken out, but 8 wasn't there. So they must have continued the program after that major slaughtering that Elle did. Jane. And then they, I don't know, recruited more kids. Then they started the program over, or they just continued on where they left off, with Jane being the original, now being a part of the new system. But that's interesting, because well, obviously she knew Papa, but she was the one that brought the vision to Jane, to Elle in season 2. So back to Papa, though, the whole reason why I brought that up is, even though he's basically been killed since the first season, he's still been a part of the show, still been brought up. I don't recall any bit of him in season 3. I'm sure you guys will let me know if I'm forgetting something from season 3, if there's any mention of him or anything, but I don't recall. And then this season, obviously they weren't just going to bring him back for the introduction, which was actually a flashback. So yeah, obviously we're going to get more of Papa, and here it is. I'm pretty sure the next episode, I don't have it in front of me here, the next episode title, but I'm pretty sure the next one is actually titled after him also. So yeah, we're going to get a lot more Papa for the remainder of this season, for the remainder of the series. Actually, I don't want to say remainder of the series, because he could be killed off, but I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more Papa. But yeah, that was just one of the groups that we're focusing on. Then we also focused on Jonathan, Mike, and Will, and Brochacho, Argyle. They're burying the body. We actually lost him. I guess they're kind of starting to discover a little bit in regards to the Nina project. They now know it's a computer. They're going to go to Susie. I forgot about Susie, the mention of Susie as well. And they also brought her back at the start of the season. I thought it was just going to be a brief thing. But no, they're actually going to bring her back yet again so they can track down, hack, or locate the Nina project and where Elle is being kept, where she's actually getting her powers back. I love how everything's actually connecting right now. And another group that we actually followed, or I guess a couple that we followed, was Joyce and Murray. And Murray had one of the best fight scenes ever. Man, they must have spent, the budget might have been a little bit higher. I think, obviously, they spent a lot of money last season too with the giant monster. I don't even know what the fuck that was. It's not the Mind Flayer. It was basically like the physical version of the Mind Flayer. But man, that whole plane scene, they probably spent a lot of money on that. I thought that was really well done. And I like that they're keeping the comedy to them, keeping it to Joyce and Murray right now, because, and kind of keeping it away from the other Russians with Hopper and Jägermeister, who are now locked up together. Hopper, he had a great monologue this episode too, where he's basically talking about, he always thought he was cursed, but he is the curse. I really did like that. That was well done too. So I do like that they kept that separate though from the comedy. I know I brought that up a few times now for a few of these reactions, but it's just one of those things that killed me for season 3, the Russians and the comedy. I wish they would have kept those separate. So now the fact that they are keeping them separate, I feel like they may have actually listened to some fan feedback. I don't even know if a lot of fans felt that way, but this fan did. So that's why I keep on bringing it up, and I'm definitely shouting them out for basically fixing one of the issues that I did have in the previous season. That doesn't happen a lot of time with a lot of shows. If you have an issue with something, they're basically like, deal with it. Like, we're the writers, you're not. This time around, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but they seem to be listening. So I'm going to shout them out. I'm going to give them some praise for it. But that was great. And then the other group of kids that we did follow, man, we're following so many different groups. And then we still have another group that I have to bring up afterwards. Another group of kids that we were following were Max and them, which is basically the haunted house. That was their segment of the episode, which is super cool. They didn't really do much while they were there at the Victor Creel house, because they were following around with the flashlights. It was like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures there. It was pretty cool. Like, they were following him around. They tracked him down to the attic. I love that one shot too, when they all had their flashlights there together in the center, right under the light in the room, in like the middle of the room, middle of the attic. And then the camera flipped. There was some great camera work this episode too. But the camera flipped, and there he was, upside down, or in the upside down. Man, that was so cool. I just can't get enough of it. Like, Vecna, he's kind of blowing me away. Out of all the monsters we have, like, obviously Demogorgon's freaking rock, the original design and everything. The Mind Flayer, the physical version of him. Now, Vecna, like, I think he's the coolest thing. Maybe it's because I'm a huge horror fan, and he's definitely delivering on the horror vibes the most, especially with Freddy Krueger emphasis and influence. I just can't get enough of it. All I ask is more Vecna. That's what I want to see. I could have used a little bit more Vecna this episode, but the small dose that we did get was more than enough. Or I don't want to say more than enough, but it definitely it whet the appetite, I guess you could say. Those are the words I was looking for there, because the other group that we followed, man, I don't know how the show manages like so many different sets of characters, so many different groups so freaking well. Like, I'm so invested with nearly all of them. So yeah, we had the jocks track down Eddie as well, finally. I really like the Eddie character, but I feel like the main head jock, Captain America, now that he's actually seen some things, what we've seen, I feel like he's actually going to work with Eddie to have it all take place in the water too. At night, man, that's the worst place for it to all go down. But he witnessed it all, and that was one of the bad ones. Who's going to be Vecna's next victim? I feel like he's not done with Max. Like, he's definitely going to have it out for Max now. But I'm trying to think, who else could he go for? I know from our main group, once they actually get back in Hawkins, we have Will. He's been kind of suppressing some things. Obviously, or I don't want to say obvious because it hasn't been too obvious, but I'm pretty sure it's the gay overtones that he's kind of keeping under wraps. I wouldn't be surprised if Vecna kind of gets a hold of that because he is suppressing it and goes after him for that. I don't know if that's something that they're considering, but I do think that that's a possibility. And then who else has been kind of keeping things in? I think Elle herself, Jane, with the bullying and everything that's been happening to her and her lying to Mike as well. That's something that Vecna could go after as well. Like, it's all these insecurities, all these issues, all these like problems that they keep bottled up. He goes right after him. He opens up those bottles. So yeah, I'm trying to think, like, those are our main kids and main potential victims. I don't think he's going to kill off Will or Elle. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, he has more opportunities or more people to go after. Out of the smaller characters, I don't know who his next victim would be. I don't feel like he's done, though. I really hope we haven't seen the last of the victims this season. I'll just say that. Like, as bad as that is to say, like, man, I love it so much. The whole, whatever they thought of, like, this whole possession, floating in the air, Vecna's curse, basically. How they thought of Vecna's curse and seeing it play out every single time, I'm not getting sick of it. We all know what it entails now. When they start to float in the air, we know what's coming. We know what's next. Yet I want to see it. It's so freaking good. It's so freaking gruesome too. The fact that this is actually happening to kids, even though they are side characters that we don't know. I feel like they're still doing a pretty good job of making us feel for these characters, or these victims, even though they are kind of side characters. Chrissy, first episode, first time seeing her, I thought she was going to be the head cheerleader, high school bitch, mean girl. Not the case. Her scene with Eddie in the forest when she was buying the drugs, immediately I was like, yo, I'm actually shipping these two together. I'm a fan of both of them. I thought he was going to be a dick from his scene in the cafeteria. I brought this up before too. And for her just being who she is, I stereotyped them stereotypical all wrong. Like, I read them all wrong. So I started to feel for their characters in just one episode. So that's why the show did such a great job for side characters, making me feel for them before they became victims. Fred, we didn't really get to know him a little bit or too much, but he did make some side jokes with Nancy, like some quick quips. So yeah, we still got to know his character a little bit. This guy, I feel like we got to know his character the least, even though he was in the show the longest or made it the furthest out of all the first three victims for Vecna. But at the same time, I feel like they didn't do as good of a job. But the first two, I feel like they did a pretty good job of letting us get to know the characters for side characters before actually taking them out. I feel like a lot of horror movies, that's one of the things that they have issues with. You have an hour and a half, basically, or 2 hours, however long your runtime is for the film, to make us care, to introduce the premise, introduce the villain, and then start slaughtering it if it's a slasher per se. Let's say. And 99% of the time, they do not make us care for these characters. This season, obviously, they are extended episodes, but if you look at each one individually, just as hour-long episodes or hour and a half, whatever it is, the runtime, they're doing a much better job than any film to make us care for these victims and characters. So yeah, what else can I say about it? I am freaking loving the horror aspect of the show. My only request is, it started off on such a high note, like ramp to 11, 10, 11 for like the first couple episodes. Then we kind of dialed it back a little bit. Then episode 4, not only did they bring back the horror, the emotions were ramped up to 10 as well, to 11. Now this episode, they kind of dialed back the Vecna. Maybe some time away makes the heart grow fonder. I'm hoping for the remainder. We only have 2 episodes left for part A, or 4 episodes left for season 4. God damn, I'm going through it pretty quick. But yeah, I'm hoping for the remaining episodes they do ramp things back up, because yeah, we've had a great, like, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy this episode. I actually like this one more than episode 3 or chapter 3, because even though they could both kind of be considered setup episodes, I felt like this one did a much better job of going between the groups and handling it, not making it seem like a setup episode, getting us ready for the next chapter or for the next stage of this season. But yeah, I don't know what is next, who the next victim is going to be. All that I ask is more Vecna. Hopefully Hopper can escape soon, break out with Jägermeister. He's down bad right now, but I'm truly confident that he's going to make a comeback. Joyce and Murray, I don't even know what the fuck they are, but their comedy aspect this episode was great. Their plane fight was freaking awesome. So well done. Not a fan of Yuri. He can go to hell with his peanut butter, but yeah, this was a good episode for sure. Not my favorite of the season. I really like, I gotta say, episode, in no particular order, my 3 favorite episodes. I was gonna say my first 3 favorites, or I'm not gonna go through every single one, or I guess I could. There's only 5. Really quick. 1, 4, 3, 5. Oh wait. 1, 4, 2, 5, 3. There it is, folks. That's my quick time ranking for where we sit right now. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next one. I'm probably going to close out part A for the season next week. React to 2 episodes, chapter 6 and chapter 7. You already know there's going to be a cliffhanger. I don't know what it's going to be though. What are your predictions, guys, going into the next episode? What do you think the cliffhanger is going to be? But as always, definitely let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Till next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't fun enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn.